Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. We're back at the Buffalo Hole. Hopefully gonna catch some fish. It's a bit windy straight out of the north. Went to another spot, didn't have much luck. So we're gonna try this. Hey, if you're new to the channel, my name's Alan. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all the support. Hope you guys are having a good time fishing this late fall, just about winter. So let's get to it. I'm going to start with a little Meps, that one I've been using with the spark shad on it. This guy. Oh, it looks like the water's down some since the last time we were here. Heck yeah. Little 3-inch spark shad. This is one of my new rods, a Bass X St. Croix, 15-pound braid. I think I got a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader. I'm gonna try a drop shot in here too. This pond has always been good to me with the Rapala Countdown minnow, so we're definitely gonna have to fire that thing out there. It's a beautiful day. The temperature's like in the high 60s, even though a cold front came through. The wind shifted, but it didn't really feel cold. Uh-oh. Is this a wind knot I detect? Uh-huh. Alright, let's take care of this. Alright guys, we got that wind knot out. Crazy stuff. Anyway, so I like putting the spark shad on the back of this thing, on the back of the Meps. Yeah, I've been happy with these Bass X rods. Good stuff. Ooh, did I have something come up and pop this? Well, hopefully you guys got all your Christmas shopping done. I got all of mine done. So many Black Friday deals that I just kind of had my list, got all my fishing stuff first, and then started working on the rest of it. So it worked out pretty well. Had a good time hunting for bargains. There's Mr. Turtle right out there in front of me. There's some good crappie in here. I'd love to have a crappie come up and pop this thing. There's some good bass in here too. In the spring, in this little cove in here, it's perfect for top water in there. I'm gonna have to look, and maybe even now top water might get something to want to come out. All right, guys, right in here, about 5 feet out on the spark shad, we got just crushed by this little dude. Or not the spark shad, the steel shad. All right, guys, there he is. Not very big, but pretty cool nonetheless. There he goes. I threw the drop shot for a while, and man, nothing was even, I mean, had the Berkeley flatworm, which is pretty much 100% strike rate on that thing, and nothing. Then I tried like a leech, and nothing on that. So I switched to this little steel shad that has that wacky vibrating, and boom, right there. So we'll throw it a little bit more. That's it. That's what it looks like. This one's got gold on it. Just dinky little thing. I'm throwing it on the Mach 2, Lew's Mach 2 with a Lew's speed spin. 300. I just pitch it out there, let it fall all the way to the bottom. Then I just bring it in and let it do its thing. That little yo-yoing. When I get it close to the bank, and then I just do like a slow reel. Still vibrating, but just to help get it through some of the weeds. But that little guy hit in close. He wasn't out there very far. Can you hear the snow geese? Way the heck over there on the main lake. Somebody spooked them, and they're just going bananas. Water's really low over there, so it's not much. Fishing is just, if anything, a kayak. You never see boats get in there. It's it's part of Lake Texoma, but it's just a rough area. Great spot for nature though. Boy, the wind hadn't let up at all, which surprises me. Usually when one of these fronts blows through, then it kind of settles down and the wind will still come out of the north, but just a bit. But this thing's been blowing pretty consistently. No moisture in this one. Usually when we get a front coming through, we get something. What do we got here? What do we got here? Looks like a little smallmouth. Well, it's another bass. This one's a little bigger. There we go. What do I got caught on here? Let's take a look. Yeah, a little bit different. He's a little bit bigger. Man, they're coming in close here. Right in here, and they're just hammering. You know, when I was running stuff through there earlier, like I had the Beast Coast OW sniper jig going through there, nothing. So you just got to try different things and hope something that's, works. Sorry about that. Had to adjust the hat there. Man, but these little things, I've never really, before this year, maybe a blade bait, throw it like maybe once, twice in my life. And these are just, they're so much fun. Uh-oh, what am I, caught up here? Come on. That's one thing about a 6668. It'll get wrapped on the tip on me, and I'm sure it's user error, but on the 6-footer with the ugly stick, never. I'm not sure why that is, probably because I'm short. Anyway, but what I was saying was, you know, I never used a blade bait before, and then I started hearing guys on the Smallmouth Crush podcast talking about how they use it in deep water when nothing's biting, even in different spots, and I was like, I might as well give it a try. And I've had so much fun with it. I like the really big size steel shad, but man, that one, it always seems like I lose that one. These little ones I've lost a couple of times, but I like throwing the little ones because you can catch any size fish. If you throw that big one, you're pretty much not going to get, well, you may get a little one to go after it. Last weekend when I was fishing, guys, I lost a fish on the bigger size blade bait, different brand. Golly. And it just, he just took a swipe at it right as it was coming in. He'd been following it, and I didn't even have time to even do anything. All of a sudden, he just flopped, and that was it. All right, guys, so here's the middle size, the next one up. It's not the biggest, but it's still fun to throw. I like how it's spread out there because the hooks, because it keeps you from getting hung up on the line. Same vibration, just only bigger and a little bit more powerful. Especially when you yo-yo this thing, I mean, you really feel it. It's just so much fun to throw. Really in deep water, it's ideal. None of the spots, I have a couple of spots, deep water, I've fired it in there, but I don't think this pond's very deep, maybe 15 feet at the most, 20. Oh, there's no snags in here that this thing could get in. Come on. I was saying, there can't be anything that would snag this up where I couldn't get it out. Almost. There we go. Yeah, that breeze feels good, but I know it's not not good for you guys. Any chasers? Followers? No. Dang, guys, it's just, you gotta get one of these. There's different brands, but out of all the ones I've tested, Demiki's pretty good, the Demiki Vault. But man, this Steelshad. I think the Silver Buddy's another good one I've used before, but the way this thing vibrates, they're gonna, what do they say, fish have 6 senses? The 6th one being that lateral line. And when this thing is down there, there's no way they're not feeling that vibration. And looks like we got some gar, bass, white bass, crappie. Now this is big enough where a big crappie could hit this. I threw the little countdown minnow for a little bit, which is usually money here. I didn't get any takers. I may have to try that again. What is you guys' take on these crankbaits? Do you prefer balsa, plastic? I've been doing some reading on that. You like the flat sides? I may do a video where I just come out and that's all I throw are crankbaits and see what happens. See if we get skunked or we get something. Man, I tell you what. Uh-oh. What is that? Did we get hit there? I think we got popped and then it was vibrating and then it stopped and then nothing. And I don't think he got it. I know the hooks didn't get him. I tell you what, guys, I love throwing the rattle trap. I hadn't thrown that in a long time. And I've been throwing it lately, and it's another fun one that vibrates all crazy. Chatterbait, I threw that one for a little bit earlier. I may throw that one again here in a few minutes. I love throwing the jackhammers. I know everyone's like, oh man, they're just more expensive because of the name. Oh, see right there again. Weird. The hooks are fine. I felt a nice thump, but nothing was there. Maybe it just bumped a log or something. Anyway, I love throwing the jackhammer. That thing is fun. I've got a bunch of the other ones, but for some reason I like that one. The other thing I like to throw, the little rattle trap minis. Dang it, guys. On the Rapala Countdown minnow, I hit right there and he dove straight into the freaking cabbage and he spit it. Boy, this stuff is thick. I didn't think it was this, there was this much down there. That was crazy. Boy, you can hear the geese out there. All right, so this one's like either a 4 or a 5. I don't know if you can hear them or not. Probably not. Anyway. And it's just this minnow color. So what I do is I let it sink. Just let it get down there, count to 20, 25, and then I just start cranking it in. And boy, it just got whacked. Whew. That would have been the best bass for sure. Could have been a gar, but it sure as heck wouldn't as hard as it hit that thing, it sure as heck wasn't a crappie. Guys, this is a little spy bait, and I can't remember. I just got this in one of those little subscription boxes, and I cannot remember what it is, but we're gonna give this a shot. I saw it sitting in there, just to, you know, typical little spy bait, but it's smaller, just to throw it around, just to say that I did. Probably not the ideal conditions for it, but same type of deal. I'm just going to bring it in real slow. Take a look at it as it comes through the water. So it's got a front prop and a rear prop, and it sinks pretty good. It's got like some pink and some white on the bottom. So we'll give this a shot. Maybe we can get a nice big crappie to hammer it, or a bass. Then I can cross that one off the list that I threw that one. I think out of all the mystery boxes, I think I have thrown all the lures. Maybe there may be one or two yet of the jerk baits that I haven't, but for the most part, I think I've covered them all. Now, of course, a lot of them I didn't put on video because, you know, nothing was going on, but anyway, you get the idea. I don't want those to be baits I get, you know, and they just sit there and I never do anything with them. So I try really hard not to have that situation come up. But one thing I do want to try are a couple of crankbaits that I got in. All right, guys, old school mud dog. I've never thrown this. This was inherited from a guy that retired from fishing and gave all the tackle stuff to my brother, and then he gave it to me. It's got this, looks like a twister tail on the back of it. I think it's a mud dog. So we're gonna give it a shot. I've never thrown it. It's definitely a floater. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't really throw a lot of like odd baits. I got some in this one. I got that battle beetle and the roach. I've thrown them a couple of times, but nothing doing. Boy, he digs, man. This thing sure does dig. Jeez Louise. This is gonna be a good one for some stuff up in Iowa. One particular lake that I know of. This is gonna be fun. God, this thing's just got a lot of vibration on it. Look at all this cabbage just bringing up. I didn't know that there was this much cabbage in here. I mean, I knew there was a little bit here and there, but man, this thing's like a lawnmower, weed eater down there. This thing is fun. Jeez. Boy, that wind is just crazy. Look at that. It's that time of year, I guess. Alright guys, on the Ned Rig, the hula stick. What in the heck is this thing? That's a huge warmouth, or a... yeah, it's a big warmouth. A rock bass, maybe? I'm gonna have to get a picture of that. I've never seen anything like that. Man, he just hammered this. Check out that, the colors on that guy. It's got to be a warmouth. Rock bass? I don't know. I'm going with the warmouth. I don't want him to deal with this crappy wind, but sorry, buddy. All right, guys, this is for sure my PB Warmouth. Look how beautiful that thing is. I don't think it's a rock bass. It could be. Let me get him back in there. Here we've got red-eared sunfish and green sunfish, long-eared sunfish. That was definitely a cool fish on the Ned Rig, throwing the hula stick. Let me get this over here so I can show you all this cabbage I'm standing in. Just right here, it's got a little weed guard on it. And I was just running it through there and bouncing it along. It's got these little tails that bounce, and bam! He just hit it. That was a lot of fun, guys. All the bites have been in right in here and in close. Yeah, it's getting kind of late in the day. I've been testing lures out here. Sorry, I gotta adjust the hat cam. I've been losing so much weight, the hat cam is too loose on me. Been getting rid of this lard. But I've been testing lures out here today, just one right after another. Stuff that I've gotten in subscription boxes and stuff I hadn't thrown in a while. And I hadn't thrown the hula stick in I don't know how long. I need to throw the Ned Rig even more. I just don't do it. So many things to play with. Meps, bucktails. Oh yeah, I threw a bucktail for a while. Didn't have any luck with it. That was a cool fish. That may be one of those ones that I get a smaller one, a replica made of it. I've got big ones, but I need like a smaller replicas done. And that would be a cool one to do. PB Warmouth. What's got me all tangled here? This thing. And some cabbage. I was listening to a podcast and an interview with old Ned Katie, talking about just these little 5-foot rods, a real light head on there, and just really swimming it, not necessarily bouncing it along the bottom. Oh, thought that was pretty cool. To listen how the whole thing evolved. I think that was on the Tackle Talk podcast. Just do that if you want to listen to it. Ned Rig, Tackle Talk podcast. This guy named Andrew, a young guy that does that. Let's see over here in the shallows what we got going on. Boy, when there's actually water in here and this thing fills up, it's a great place to get some fish out of here. The thing is, you get all kinds of cabbage. You can see where the hogs have been down in here. Deer tracks, coon tracks. There go the geese again, squawking up a storm. Boy, there ain't much water in there. Maybe 6 inches. And a whole lot of cabbage. And snags. But it looks like that bottoms out right here. Yeah, this thing looks good in the water. So I probably move it along too fast. I just bounce it along. A lot of it's because I'm worried about it getting snagged. But I need to just let it sit there and just barely twitch it right when it gets in. Yeah, for all my bushcraft buddies, check out that spot in there if you were going to set up a camp. Cool weather, cool nights. A lot of them have been out camping now, so kudos to them. What is going on here? What the heck? Oh, it's a crappie. He didn't even fight. I thought I had a snag, guys. Jeez Louise. This one's a little spark shad. There he is. Look at, he's got his winter colors. White crappie. There we go. Just bouncing this along the bottom on a Ned Rig. Nothing else on the hula stick. Then I try to Minobi, and I thought I'd give this guy a try, this white color. It's some cool stuff. Chewed up a bit, but that was pretty cool. He just hammered it, and then there was nothing there. So I thought I had a snag, and I just started bringing it in, and he was just like there. It wasn't swimming or anything. Just bouncing it along. Here's some gunshots off in the distance, hunters. See, outside the refuge, I'm sure whatever waterfowl is in season, they can get it. There's Ross's geese, snow geese, cackling geese, Canada geese, ducks, but I'm not sure. I don't know all those regulations. I've never really been duck hunting before. And it's such a peaceful afternoon, even though the wind has been howling. Oh yeah, that looks phenomenal in the water, guys. I'm telling you, I know Chris Zaldane has moved on from Mega Bass over to, he's moved on. Yeah, he's with Bass Mafia now, and what is it, Guggen Squad? But I'm telling you, man, these Spark Shad are just amazing. That's who I heard it from, was him. He was talking about them. 3-inch, 4-inch, and I think he even uses the 5-inch. And I've tried a bunch of them, you know, different ones. Reaction Innovations, Rhythm Wave, Kitech. I really like Bass Assassin. But these little guys are just so cool. And I'm sure there's like 10, 20 other ones out there I hadn't even tried yet, but these guys sure do get the job done. Well, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for me for today. My first spot, I got skunked. I was there for like 3 hours. And then here, we had some luck, so I was happy about that. Got to test more lures, throw some stuff that had been sitting in my tackle box for too long. Look at that sun. You're probably looking right at it. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, all right. Until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye.